All right, so continuing on the theme of ingenuity, I think we'd love to move to corporate ingenuity. We heard a little bit from government ingenuity. My friend Jonathan Pulitzer, would love to invite him to the stage, Senior Director of Investments at GE, to give us a global view on investing and ingenuity. With that, Jonathan, thank you.
Where's the, see, this the, Hi, good morning, everybody. It's great to be here at the Israel Dealmakers Summit again. I'm Jonathan Pulitzer. I'm a director for GE Ventures. We're the corporate venture capital arm of GE. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about some of the things that we're doing around innovation and collaboration partnerships in the ecosystem. So take a look at some of these brand names and these products. Where are they today? The fact is that they've been disrupted. They've been replaced. Disruption has happened in our industry, and it's changing everything. Why? It's markets, it's businesses, it's customers, and it's happening. Take a look at some of the names on the bottom of this screen. These now represent the 3 most valuable companies in the world. None of them existed 40 years ago. Venture capital has been a key contributor to the growth, not just of the US economy and abroad, but also of job creation. But interestingly, it's represented a very small fraction of total R&D expense. And take a look at some of these industries. They've literally been created through venture capital, impacting all of our lives. So innovation is something that we can't ignore. It's changing business as usual. We can't get away anymore with just saying, this is how we've done it all these years. We're just going to continue to do it. Big corporations, we have to make it a core part of what we do. We can't just say innovation is a side job. It has to be a core activity. Innovation is what's going to drive 60% of growth of major companies over the next couple of years. Interestingly, if you look at PwC did their annual CEO Pulse survey, 93% of CEOs said that innovation is going to be the key driver to their growth. Though ironically, 81% of those same CEOs said that they don't think their companies are capable of leading in innovation. They're clearly seeing innovation as a major driver. Interestingly, the same survey said that they now rank innovation alongside operations as the key drivers to their company's performance. 5 years ago, that would have been globalization. Today, you're seeing it move to innovation. Innovation is clearly playing a role at the forefront of all companies as they think about their future growth and performance. So now GE. We're a company, we've been a great innovator. We've been around for 130 years. We file thousands of patents every year. We're great at developing technology and product investment internally. But the reality is things are happening much faster outside of our 4 walls. We have to participate in that ecosystem. We have to truly become a partner and collaborator in the global environment. And that's where my group, GE Ventures, comes in, the corporate venture capital arm of GE. Our role is investments, scaling, partnerships, go-to-market relationships, and broader open innovation in the ecosystem in order to help GE participate in some of the innovation and collaborate with it in the global ecosystem. And frankly, it's not just pure technology innovation, it's also business models. They're changing, and we have to keep up. The traditional models of centralized energy, healthcare, our core industries, they're moving to decentralized. CapEx intensive models are moving to OpEx. Our customers are saying, we want capital light models. We want to participate that way. And everything is being connected, whether it's people or devices. So this creates a lot of risk, but the reality is it also creates a lot of opportunity for new business models. You can see some of the big names appearing on your screen. These are all companies that are being created out of these emerging business models. Our role as GE Ventures is to find a way for GE to tap in to these emerging business models and technologies and figure out a way for us to participate in this new ecosystem that's being created. Given that we're at the Israel Dealmakers Summit, what I wanted to do is take an opportunity to walk through some of how we as GE Ventures, in close collaboration and partnership with our friends at the GE Global Research Center in Israel, led by my colleague Oded Meirav, how we're partnering with the ecosystem, bringing investments, scaling, open innovation to Israel and then to GE. So for investments, I would mention a company called SolarEdge Technologies. This is a power electronics company around optimizing the performance of solar installations. We invested in them 5 years ago, pre-revenue. Last year, they did well over $200 million in revenue. They're a profitable company, and we're hoping for a strong IPO of the company in the coming days. In scaling, I would have mentioned a company called CheckCap. These guys make a ingestible pill cam that's an X-ray, that's non-invasive, no prep, and can detect colon cancer through a pill. We're working with them in order to facilitate their R&D for their next generation radioisotope based on some technology developed in GE's Global Research Center. And now GE Healthcare is exploring a partnership with them around both supply as well as packaging and commercialization of the products. I'd also mention a partnership that we have broader in Israel in order to let GE tap into early stage technologies. We partnered with a very well-known crowdfunding group that I know was here yesterday called Our Crowd. It's a way for us to tap into early stage technologies. Together, we invested and partnered in a company called MetaWare. MetaWare is a big data analytics software platform to enable healthcare payers, providers, and pharmacy chains to use big data analytics to analyze all parameters of patient characteristics in order to avoid drug interaction fatalities or major costs to the ecosystem. Together, we're bringing this company to industry thought leaders, we're introducing them to customers and potential investors. I'll mention, in terms of go-to-market partnership, our first cybersecurity investment that we made in Israel, a company called FedArray. They do cybersecurity as well as big data analytics and anomaly detection. We're using them in order to analyze performance of GE's manufacturing facilities in order to detect anomalies. We've recently won a bird project with them, and we look forward to partnering with them as we roll out Predix, GE's industrial internet software platform. In open innovation, I'd mention another investment that we made in the energy sector, a company called Pendulum. It's a laser-based radar, or LiDAR, detection software for sighting of wind farms. The technology is traditionally based down on the ground, looking up into the air over long periods of time and detecting wind speeds. GE Ventures, in collaboration with our R&D center and our wind business, is working very closely with the company to adapt their technology in order to integrate it into our wind turbines to sit real-time, on-demand monitoring and controlling wind turbines looking up to 200 meters forward of a wind turbine. Lastly, what GE Ventures is helping to do is actually drive culture change within GE. And we're doing this by bringing the lessons that we've learned from the high-tech ecosystem. We partnered with Eric Ries and Lean Startup, and we developed a program internally called FastWorks. This is a set of tools that enables us to be faster, to be closer to the customers, and be leaner as we think like a startup as we develop new products and new business units within GE. We've also done something interesting for the first time when a company like GE. We actually have EIRs, entrepreneurs in residence, within GE. And what they're doing is bringing all the lessons they've learned outside, working in startups, being fast, being entrepreneurial, and bringing those into GE so that we can act fast when we build new products, new business units. And frankly, it's really starting to have a ripple effect across the company as we learn from startups and how they act and how we could bring that into a big company like GE. So lastly, I'll finish with the fact that GE is a company, we've been part of the Dow Jones since it was created. And we didn't stay in that place because we didn't adapt and we didn't innovate. The reality is it is a core part of everything that we do. We try to adapt to win. We want to be the biggest and best infrastructure company in the world. And the reality is in order to do that, you have to partner. You have to collaborate with high tech in the ecosystem. And I'm particularly proud to say that in Israel, that's a key ecosystem for us to partner with. We've made 10 investments, we have 20 technology partnerships, and we really see ourselves as one of the core partners, particularly for industrial companies in the ecosystem. So I invite you all to come over, get to know us, see how we can collaborate with each other in the ecosystem. We want to keep a company 130 years old like GE, adapting, innovating, and winning, and we look forward to working together. Thank you.